Hi there, and welcome to the first in our Family History Friday genealogy series. I'm Margaret. I'm the Special Collections Librarian here at the Butler Area Public Library. And today I'm going to start you off easy. We are going to cover the databases that are available to you for free as a Butler County Federated Library System card holder. And I'll show you what those are and how you go about accessing them at home right now. And then I will cover some other basic tips to get you started so that you can confidently begin to climb your family tree. The first resource I'm going to show you is Heritage Quest. And to get started, you'll want to start at our website, butlerlibrary.info/genealogy. There is always a link to the genealogy section of our website right here at the top. So as long as you get to our homepage, you should be all set. So if you get there and you scroll down a little bit, you will come to the section for Heritage Quest. Clicking on Heritage Quest here or on the picture of the website will open it for you. And you will probably, the first time you use it, get prompted to enter your library barcode. That's just the number from the back of your card with no spaces, and then hit connect. And this is what the Heritage Quest site looks like once you're logged in at home with your library card. And Heritage Quest is a great site for beginners because it has a smaller collection of resources and it lets you search one category of record at a time. So it's a good way to get used to online research, especially because it has the same user interface as Ancestry Library Edition. So it'll be a good stepping stone to the main site. To get started, you'll want to hit search here at the top. And you can see then that you're going to choose the category that you want to look at. So you have federal and state census records. There are a number of historic digitized books. This includes county histories, lineage society books, family-specific histories. So there's a lot of good information on there, and it's name searchable. There are wills and probate records. Wills can often be a really useful resource when you are connecting family members together, especially in earlier years when there aren't as many birth and death records available. Some other records that you'll find are city directories. So these are like essentially the early phone book, and they show you year by year where folks were, where their address was, who their spouse was, what their occupation was even. So it's a good way to fill in the gaps in between the census years. There are some military records, specifically Revolutionary War pension records. So if you have family that goes back a couple hundred years to the Revolution, this can be a really valuable resource for you. And there are also some immigration record collections on here, so naturalization and passenger lists. And to get started, you will simply click the heading of any of these sections. And then you will get a search box where you can put in a name and a location, any kind of date. You'll have a similar search field for each category. Here you can find the one for historic books. And the same for the city directories. So it'll be a familiar search page each time. They just might have slightly different boxes depending on the type of record you are looking at. The other genealogy database available to you as a library card holder is Ancestry Library Edition. You'll also find that one on the genealogy page of our website. Just scroll down a little bit further and you'll find the information for that. Now, normally, Ancestry Library Edition is only available in libraries that subscribe to it. In Butler County, that's the Butler Area Public Library, the Cranberry Library, the Zelienople Library, and the Evans City Library. But right now, during the COVID-19 closures, we are able to offer you access to this resource at home. So this is a great time to get started in your genealogy research. To access it at home, you need to contact us first to get the password. So you'll see here the email address that you'll want to reach out with your name and your library card number. We do just have to confirm that you are a current library card holder in our system, and then we will give you the password. When you have that, you'll click this big Ancestry Library Edition at Home button, which will bring you to the page where you'll put that password in. You'll hit go. And that will bring you to this landing page, and you will just click Access Ancestry Library Edition to get started on the Ancestry site. Now, Ancestry Library Edition is equivalent to the World Explorer version of Ancestry, so it has United States and international records on it. There's a huge number of resources that are available to you. And to get started, once you're here, you will just want to hit Begin Searching. And that will bring you to their default search page. Now, a lot of people will ask what the difference is between the Library Edition version of Ancestry and the paid version. And really the only difference is the fact that you don't need to have a personalized username and password to sign in. You're accessing this through the library. As you can see here, we've got a search box and some direct links to specific catalog items. You'll find the same direct links under the search button up here. And you'll note that it says Butler Area Public Library in the corner. Now, if I click this other tab and show you my own personal Ancestry account, you'll see that the website looks very similar. We have the same search box here in the center, the same menu categories under search. You can see up here, though, it's my own username, and there are a lot of ads for other Ancestry services. So you're just getting a more streamlined version of the website, but all the collections are the same. There's not a lot of difference otherwise in the way that you interact with it. It's just not personalized to you as an individual user. So let's go back to the Library Edition site. To get started, you will want to fill in the name of the person that you're looking for. In this instance, let's look for Peter Kennedy. And I know that he lived in Butler County, Pennsylvania, and he was born around 1826. Ancestry does have, if you don't know a birth year, but you perhaps know the year that they died or the year that they immigrated, something like that, you can click this Show More Options button, and that will give you some other things that you can fill in. But right now, we're going to stick with a really basic search, a name, a location, and a date. We'll hit search. And then you can see a whole list of records here that they think are matches to the information that we put in. So here we have some census records for 1870, 1860, 1880 here in Butler County. We also have a link to the website Find a Grave, which is a crowdsourced genealogy site specific to cemetery information, which is really helpful, and that looks to be the person that we're looking for. Here's an even earlier 1850 census record, so we have a few good matches to start with. And to look at any of these records, you will simply click on the blue hyperlink, and that will give you more info. So you can see that there's more data subscribed off of that record. We have his name, his age, the approximate birth year, where he was born, Pennsylvania, where he was living in 1870. In this instance, it's Winfield Township. His occupation, he was a farmer, and then the list of all the other people living in that household. So you can see Peter here and Rachel, and then there are a number of children, presumably, who are under the age of 12. And if I scroll back up and I see this thumbnail version of the document, if I hit view, that's what lets me see the actual original record. So here we are looking at that actual 1870 census record for the Kennedy family. You can see up here at the top, it will tell you the location. It's Winfield Township in Butler, PA, and it was recorded in July of 1870. And if I scroll down a little bit, wait for this page to keep loading. Here in yellow on line 38, you can see Peter Kennedy, who's a farmer, born in Pennsylvania. And then Rachel, who's 25 and presumably his spouse. She is keeping house. That's her occupation. And then Mary is the first daughter we have listed there. Now, because they're at the bottom of the page, we are just going to use this button right here on the right-hand side to turn the page to the next section. And when we do that, let's pull back to the top of the page here, we can see the rest of the household is continued on this next page. We have James, Joseph, Thomas, and Susanna. And any record that you find here on Ancestry, you can keep a copy of. If you go right here to the top corner where it says Save, you have two options. You have this first one where you can send it to yourself in an email. If you put your email address in, and they'll just ask you to confirm, they will send you a link to download this record, and they will keep sort of a running collection of up to 300 records from Ancestry, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. You can also just immediately download the record by hitting Save to this computer. Any records that you save using the Send Item Home button on Ancestry Library Edition or Heritage Quest will be sent to you through an email. You'll only get one email per day that you're doing research, so it won't blow up your inbox. But the email you get will say, you made a discovery at the library on Ancestry, and you get a link to this View Your Discoveries page. And when you click that, it takes you to My Discoveries, which is a listing of everything that you have saved during your research. And it will save everything, it will save 300 records at a time. So you can see that I actually have some items here that I used the Send Home button way back in June of 2015, and they're still here for me to view. But to access the record itself, you'll click the orange Download Image button. And that will let you open the JPEG picture of it, the same as if you had downloaded it directly from the site. And let's go back to that page of our search results that we had for Peter Kennedy and take a look at something else. Let's look at this one for Find a Grave Index. Now you can see here, again, they've got some transcribed information that he's Peter Kennedy Sr. We have specific birth and death dates that were taken off of his headstone. We have the information of the cemetery where he was buried. And all of these names are linked family members that are saved on there. So let's click over here where it says Go to Website on the left. And this will take us out to the website Find a Grave. And you can see that somebody, again, this is a crowdsourced site, so this is people putting their research together and documenting cemeteries. But somebody has gone to Knox Chapel Cemetery. You can see the name of the cemetery here. They've taken a photo of Peter Kennedy's headstone. They've added a little bit of biographical information about his parents and his spouses. And then you can see when we scroll down that they've actually linked together a burial listing for his father, James Burkhart Kennedy, a brother, John, his two spouses, Martha and Rachel, and a number of his children. So you can get information about birth and death dates and burial information and photos of the headstone all linked together right here on this Find a Grave site. The first tip that I recommend is that you always start with yourself and your parents and grandparents and make sure you have everything documented for them and then begin working your way backwards in history. You definitely don't want to make the mistake of finding somebody in 1802 who has the same surname as you and lives in the right state, so you're sure that that's an ancestor, and then you find out that that's not a direct link. You really would be amazed how many people have similar names and ages and live in the same area, even in a community as small as Butler. So always start with the people closest to you and then work your way back in history using the clues that you find in records about those people. The important thing to keep in mind whenever you find a record when you're searching on Ancestry or any other site is to consider the rule of three. So when you're looking at a record, you want to make sure that it matches the name of somebody that you're researching, a location that you believe that they lived in or had some life event in, and a date, be it a birth date, a death date, the date of a marriage, the date of their immigration, date of military service, a school event, anything like that. When you can confirm all of those things, you're more likely to be sure that the record you're looking at is an accurate match for the person you're researching.